Hello y'all, today we're going to be making some pockets for a journal out of junk. Basically, this little vellum pocket that I made that, as you will see, I did not use, and some of this pocket material that I took off a notebook. I'm not sure even what we would call that. But anyways, I did, this is basically a collection of pockets that I'll be making for a couple of journals. I'm just basically adding to my little stockpile, and I'm using different materials based on videos that I've seen of other creators. I will try to link, or at least put their names all in the description bar below. That way, if you want to look at it, I'm not sure if I will find the original video, but I will. I know I took a screenshot of the content creator. At least I can give them credit for the stuff that ideas for like this specific one. The lady that I watched did use a little die cut for a folder, but I just kind of freehanded it myself because obviously I don't have a die cut for that. I do have a die cutting machine, but not for that specific, not a file folder die cut. So I am just, like I said, freeforming it here. And this is going to be a voiceover, mainly because I sat down and I crafted for like 2.5 hours. So by the time I was done, I was like, holy crap, I have been crafting forever. And this video is excessively long. So I decided to basically speed it up, and we'll do a voiceover. So on this one, like I said, we're doing a little folder. And then I am just looking for some pattern paper we can add on here to decorate it. And like I said, it's going to be a voiceover, so I won't be talking throughout the whole thing. I'll just kind of add as I feel that I need a little more explaining. So I'll be in and out. I just want to add that every time I go back and edit and I see myself rubbing glue with my finger, I realize, oh my God, I'm such a messy crafter. I was watching a video, and I know I mentioned this before in another video, but I had watched another YouTuber, and they were talking about how they use their finger, and some people don't like getting messy. And I think about it, I've seen some YouTubers like, I don't want no glue on my fingers, so, use a brush or use a tool of some sort, and I'm always here dipping my fingers in the glue and making a mess. But I feel like that's part of the fun, and I'm definitely not the type of person that does things without getting all messy. So when I cook, the entire kitchen is covered in dirty dishes. When I craft, there is pieces of paper on the floor, glue on my fingers, paint all over my shirt, glue all over my shirt. So I'm a very, very messy artist. So anyways, I thought that was funny. Up to this point, honestly, the only thing I would suggest would for you to use a glue stick, just because it did warp my paper, as you can see here, and that bugs me when it's ephemera. If I'm doing like a glue book or certain things that I don't care about the wrinkling on the paper, then I'm fine with it. But I would suggest using a permanent glue stick so that you don't have the warping, just as a suggestion. The one thing I was gonna say about these little flaps is that when I actually did the fold, I folded it too much, so there's a larger gap in between them than what I meant for it to be. So if you want your gap to be a little closer together or smaller, then just don't fold as much. Because I did, and I didn't mean to do it so wide. And you'll see it in a second when I put it on the little folder that gap is, and it's not too bad. It's not that it looks terrible. It's just I would have preferred it if it was a little closer together. And like I said, you'll see. Ironically, that little tiny thin pocket on the side. When I seen the YouTuber who I got, I straight up copied everything she did on this, by the way. Not as far as like decorating it, but like the whole concept of it. Actually, I'm not sure. I may have lied. I don't remember if she put this on the very back of the file holder or on that first flap that opens, that folds down. But I mean, other than that, I copied it down to the T. But that little strip of the green on the bottom of the plaid, when she put it, I'm like, that's not even enough space for a pocket. That's gonna fall out. But I still did it the way she did it, and it actually works well because of these two little flaps. And see what I mean? Like, it's like an inch gap, maybe 1.25 inches. I honestly would have preferred it a little more narrow, but it's already done. I love the whole general idea. It's just a little wider than I meant it to be. This is a part where it's really useful to have tools. I have a hole punch or a circle punch, but I think it's like 1.5 inches, so it's too big for these circles. Ideally, I feel like an inch size punch. I can't speak today, although I say that quite often, so I can't ever speak. But anyways, I just traced the glue cap off my glue stick, and this is the normal size glue stick. I traced it, and then I just cut about 1/4 inch bigger all the way around, so that I could use this as essentially my little button. And this is like, it's such a neat idea. All you need is a couple brads, punch a hole in the center, and stick your brad through. The thing I was gonna also suggest is if you have a hole punch that's smaller than the typical hole punch, it works out better. I have a tiny one somewhere, but I can't find it. My crafting tools tend to disappear, just because I use them and then I don't put them back where I keep them, and then I can't find them. But if you have a smaller one, it works out better because then the brad won't be wiggling around so loosely in there, and you'll kind of see it as I put it together that it's the brad, or the little circle, I'm sorry, the little 1 inch circle that we made, it kind of wiggles a little more than it should, but I mean, it's still cute. The idea is still a good idea. It's just, like I said, a hole punch that would be a little smaller. Let's see, there we go. That would be a little smaller would be perfect, just because it would eliminate the wiggling. Okay, on to the next one. This one is little pockets that we can make out of the bottom of paper sacks. So I usually, when I have paper sacks, I tend to keep, even if I cut a piece off, I keep the bottom part. And as you can tell, these they were old. They've been in my pile for a while, to the point to where I actually put a piece of tape on the bottom to kind of keep them from peeling up, the glue, basically. So what you do is that edge that is folded over, you basically cut the bag right up to the edge. I'm doing 2, as you can see here, and you do want to find paper that you want for the inside of the bag, which is going to be the bottom. And here, as you can see, I am tracing it to size. I'm using the same paper just for uniformity, but it doesn't matter because you're not really going to see it until you open it. And then the whole point is that you'll put something in there, so it'll kind of be covered. It's just, honestly, it's just to make it a little cleaner. But this part is not necessary. You could even put a piece of white paper. But I have all these little 6x6 pieces of paper that I got at Dollar Tree that are patterned. So I'm using what I have. But like I said, this will open this way and you will see the bottom. It just looks cuter, honestly. But yeah, cut it up, then we'll glue it down. So now, now that that's been glued in there, we do want to find something to put on the top, which is what's going to be seen. So here I'm using this paper pad that I got from Temu, and just kind of looking for some pretty design that I think will work on for the front. And I chose one with yellow flowers and a butterfly, and then this, I think it's a hummingbird or some little bird, and some pink roses. So again, I do trace it so that I can cut it to size. And then this one the same. However, in a second you're going to see me that I mark it a little further to the right, or yeah, to the right, I think. Just because there was writing on there and I was trying to get more of that butterfly, so I kind of picked it up, put it up to the light to kind of see like where I could chop off some of the other side so that I can leave more room for the butterfly. And again, you're just trimming, cutting to size, and then gluing that. The great thing about this is that there is another little flap where we're gluing a piece of paper. I didn't even realize it, but when I saved those side strips, because they were just the perfect size to put on that flap, which you will see in a minute, and they match perfectly because obviously it's off the same sheet of paper, and it really completes it. And as you can see, I'm just inking a little bit so it looks more vintagey. And as you can see, this is a little strip that I was talking about that I cut off the edge of the paper, and I'm just inking it and gluing it to that piece. Once you kind of start opening the bag, there's this perfect little size strip that you can add that, and it just makes it a little more cohesive. And on to the third. I love when I get these envelopes in the mail because they have the big window. So these are perfect for making junk mail ephemera, pockets, stuff like that. So they're perfect. So as you can see here, I am folding the top, and then I do cut a slit on the back. And what I'm doing is basically, by cutting the slit, it allows you to be able to fold that down inward into itself. It just strengthens the whole envelope. That way when you're sliding things in and out, it's a little more resistant to tearing. So I every time I do pockets like this, if I have enough room, I do try to do this, just because it really does reinforce that pocket, and it keeps it a lot more secure and less likely to tear, because now it's doubled. But as you can see, I pulled it back out, put a little glue, and then I use my bone holder to kind of really push in those corners so that it's nice and crisp on here. So what I'm going to be doing this, and I think I seen this technique from 49 Dragonflies, where she uses tissue paper to cover this. I don't know if she's the one that I also saw using some kind of design on the back to kind of camouflage writing. If it is, great. If not, I don't know who the original person I saw this idea from. But as you can see here, I am using I basically printed out a free printable for sticker paper, music sheet onto sticker paper. And so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of cutting little random pieces to kind of put it all over the place. The point of this is to cover the wording on the envelope, but it does add a really cool effect to the background, which makes it more interesting to look at, because obviously that napkin is really thin once you glue it down, so you can still see a little bit of that in the background. So you'll be able to see those music notes kind of peeking in the background. I've also seen people do like markings with a pen, doodle in a little bit in the back, and it kind of blends in if there's writing on there. So if you don't have sticker paper, that adds a little more interest to it. But because I had this, I'm like, perfect, I can use it for this. And like I said, it adds a lot of character. And as you'll see this in a second, once we glue it, you can see those music notes sticking out, and honestly, it makes it a really cool effect, especially right there towards the top. And this is one of my favorite things to do. I love using napkins for ephemera, pockets, anything in my junk journals. It's just, I feel like it's one of those, when I discovered this and I watched honestly, I don't even know who it was, but the first video that I saw on this, I thought it was the coolest thing, and I've been using them ever since. I remember I went on a shopping spree one time on Etsy, and I bought a whole bunch of like random different napkins so that I had a collection that I could use from. And then this one, I do fold in the back, the stuff that goes towards the back, except for the very top, I do just cut it off. And then this one, we are going to let it dry and then kind of come back to it to cut out the tissue over the little window. Just make sure you really burnish it and kind of keep it down. And then this one was obviously packaging from I think it was stickers from Joann's. I know it is from Joann's. And by the way, the stickers that came in there were freaking gorgeous. They were those sort of plastic butterflies and flowers, if I'm not mistaken. So they're really cute. So I'd highly recommend purchasing that package of stickers. But as you can see, using the same little paper pad from Temu to select an image. And this one's just pretty simple. The idea is to cover up the handwriting because I really like the pocket. The pocket is really thick and sturdy. So I figured I'd use something for the back and cover a little bit in the front and leave the front, leave most of it exposed, so that we can still see the design that I came with, just to cover it up a little bit here. And as you can see, I was struggling where to put it, if I should leave the little hole or cover the hole. But I didn't want that little flap to, when it came down, to cover the little birdie's head, so I decided to push it down. And again, glue stick is your best friend when it comes to these. Oh, I lied. It's not glue stick. I end up using regular quick grip glue. My bad. And I actually know why I used that was super thick cardstock, so I know it wasn't gonna wrinkle my envelope, which is why. But again, in most cases, I do like using the glue stick here because it doesn't wrinkle my paper. But clearly, I'm lying in this case. And here we go, the 5 pockets that we made. So I did want to show you how I'll be using them in my journal just as an example. This is my journalware from Happy Mail that I've received. Made this picture with some butterfly pieces that I added to a picture. But as you can see, this is like kind of showing you an idea that you could either like paper clip it, put it on top, put a washi tape and put it. This one, you could either glue the whole thing in the back or do a pocket. This one, as you can see, it's big, but you could either just do one bead around and then have a trifold pocket, which is how I intend to use it. Or you could glue the whole thing and stick it on a piece. These, they'd be on the edge. So I would just use like 3/4, like an L shape on one side so that I could use it as a pocket and you can tuck stuff on the back. And then it would open up. I would put a paper clip there. It would open up so that you can have some secret little pocket. So if you do like junk journaling, you could put like a receipt back there, maybe a little picture of whatever you did that day, or even like a little secret love note, whatever it is. And then this one, obviously you have a pocket because obviously the window. And then you could either use it like a belly band where you put 2 strips and it goes all the way around. You can put something across. You could do it to where it's just glue it like a backwards C, and it's glued on the edge and it's like a tuck spot. You could do the whole thing, glue it, and then put it on the back. And it would just be the one pocket. So just a couple of different ways you can use these pockets so that you can put all your goodies in your junk journals or journals, whatever kind of journal you're working on. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this one. I had lots of fun making them. I hope you guys like it and talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.